New EPA data show more towns have PFAS in their water. Is yours one? Shane Pepin knows exactly how his town's drinking water came to be polluted with the forever chemicals it recently reported to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The borough manager in Emmaus, Pennsylvania, points to a firefighter training facility as the source of contamination that averaged 32 times the federal limit over the past year. For decades, fire-extinguishing foams containing PFAS seeped into the local aquifer during training exercises. While our firefighters are practicing to save your life, they had no idea that at the same time the water system was getting poisoned, he said. Emmaus was among 839 water systems whose yearly average exceeded EPA limits for two types of forever chemicals, according to a USA Today analysis of new test results the EPA has released. Together, these utilities serve 46 million Americans. These PFAS, or PFAS, and polyfluoroalkyl substances are part of a family of chemicals engineered to repel liquids and heat, making them nearly indestructible. They can build up in nature and in human bodies, increasing the risk of certain types of cancer and other health problems. The EPA is nearing the end of the largest PFAS testing initiative it has undertaken, a 3-year effort that requires most public drinking water systems serving at least 3,300 customers to sample and report measurements for several types of forever chemicals. Places that have found contamination now need to find other sources of drinking water or install filtration systems that can remove the PFAS within the next few years. That deadline had been set for 2029, but in May, the EPA announced plans for an extension. The agency also rescinded limits on 4 other types of PFAS set under the Biden administration in 2024. Map, where water systems reported PFAS contamination. Click on a system in the map below to review its PFAS measurements. You may also enter an address in the search box to locate the nearest water systems. Don't see a map? Click here. USA Today's analysis shows larger water utilities more frequently fail to meet the EPA's standards for the 2 chemicals it still plans to limit, PFOA and PFOS. Nearly a quarter of systems serving more than 100,000 people had average results exceeding the limit, compared with about 8% of those with fewer than 10,000 customers. But in the latest data release, it's some of the smaller communities that have reported the most eye-popping concentrations of forever chemicals in their drinking water. Nashville, North Carolina, a town of 6,000 east of Raleigh, reported 1 well that measured PFOS at 490 parts per trillion, ppt, last fall, and then at 200 ppt in March. The EPA limit is 4 ppt, which puts the average of those samples 86 times over the limit. The city's director of public works did not return USA Today's calls requesting comment. The borough of Emmaus, which is home to about 12,000 people just outside Allentown, Pennsylvania, reported several wells over EPA limits, most notably at its waterworks building, where PFOS averaged 32 times over the limit. PFOA also measured high, averaging about 5 times above the limit. These firefighting foam companies knew what was in the water and never notified anybody, Pepin said. He added that Emmaus declined a $4 million settlement from a class action lawsuit against PFAS manufacturers and is instead pursuing its own lawsuit to recover damages. A spokesperson from the 3M company didn't respond directly to Pepin's allegation, but said the company has committed $12 billion to public water suppliers as part of the settlement Emmaus declined. The company plans to stop manufacturing PFAS by the end of 2025. Spokesman Dan Turner of the DuPont Company, another manufacturer that Emmaus named in its lawsuit, declined to comment because the litigation is ongoing. Emmaus discovered the contamination through state-required testing in late 2021, Pepin said. The utility immediately shut down 1 well and studied how to remedy another well. Residents of Emmaus made it clear they wanted to fix Emmaus water, Pepin said, rather than becoming dependent by buying water from elsewhere. Earlier this year, the town won more than $9 million in grant funding and a nearly $2 million loan from the state to install 4 enormous treatment tanks filled with granular activated carbon able to filter out PFAS. Pepin said construction should finish by June 2026. Emmaus will need to raise water rates slightly to pay for maintenance for the new tanks, Pepin said, because it costs about $100,000 a year to replace the carbon filters. But he's thankful the Pennsylvania Infrastructure Investment Authority's grant will bear the brunt of the costs.